All right, so I am a huge fan of dead games, and here I have a relatively exceptional dead game in front of you. This is an original box of Clan War from Legend of the Five Rings, AEG publishing group. It's still in the wrapper. So letting you know, Clan War came out. It's kind of a response to Warhammer Fantasy Battles from Alderac Entertainment Group. But the thing is that for the most part, never took off as much. It had a very short production run. It was like 1998 or 1999 up until 2000, maybe 2001. And the game actually petered out relatively fast. There are still parts on the market available today. But that's just because there's a very small community that still plays Clan War. And for the most part, it's a dead game. Either you have a copy of this and you play it already, or no one cares about it. In fact, back in when AEG reacquired the rights for Legend of the Five Rings from Wizards of the Coast, I went so far as to ask them, hey, do you guys have possibilities for Clan War? And then I offered up some services of my own. I'm not too shabby on the miniature side of things. So there was no desire from the company to go back to miniatures gaming. I think the closest they came to a return to miniatures gaming is the license for the actual miniatures got passed off to several other companies, Reaper Miniatures, Valiant Enterprises, Magnificent Egos. And then, of course, recently, Privateer Press did an independent thing based on the new card game, since the license for Legend of the Five Rings was bought out by Fantasy Flight Games. Well, this is the original box set. It's, what is it priced for? Usually, yeah, $74.95 was the old price. It's got a bunch of metal in it. We're going to open it and find out. Why do I want to open some sealed product? Oh my! Well, there's a good reason. This stuff, the only thing these starter boxes would be good for is a new player, and there's no new players. It's a dead game. If you've gotten a hold of it, I guess you have a sealed copy for the hell of it. Kind of why I have one. I decided I was going to open it because it's technically the 21st anniversary of L5R, I guess. Well, at least the date of this box, since this box says it was created. Go ahead. Box says it was created in 1998. Yeah. So, in any case, things about Clan War before I open it. Actually, I do think it is technically a good system. Now, keep in mind, system versus game is a different thing. But this little sucker has a D10 base instead of a D6 base, so there's already more openness and fluidness as far as the dice mechanic goes. And it is very simple to pick up and makes a lot of sense just between normal basic combats between troops on the field. I also like the fact the initiative system works on a turn-by-turn basis instead of an I go, you go system. There is a turn 1 for both players. There's a turn 2 for both players. But in any case, the problem with Clan War is that really each expansion, it's kind of a power creep thing. Each expansion kind of made the box set. I mean, you get basic troops in here that you can paint to be your miniatures, but there's other specialty miniatures out there that are better to buy than the guys inside this box. Except for the officers. The officers in this box are actually pretty cool, and most people still want the officers. Honestly speaking, I think it's kind of a cool little deal. I often praise Clan War boxes. I will show you why in half a second here. But yeah, I think we should just get this thing open. After all, like I say, there's going to be no new players for it. You might as well see what this original Clan War box looks like. It's been shrink wrapped for 21 years. Let's get this thing cracked open. So I'm going to a little hole there. Rawr. Rawr. In the future, I'm going to make sure my tablecloth is more strapped down than it is, because this heavy box, it is a heavy box, by the way. This box is not a lightweight. This box you could probably hit someone with and cause physical damage to their skull. Yeah, it's very crisp. That's one thing I like about it. The printing, even though it has a bit of overlap here, bit of damage in the box edge, it's pretty solid. I'm going to also show you this Clan War box. Whoa. It's corrugated cardboard they printed on, and it's double folded on the sides. It's got very strong corners. Clan War boxes were unique to me when the day came out because they are built like tanks. There are some things in like Games Workshop that had like the the paper board or something like that, but still, these were just really strong. They also had the old Koku system going on back in the day where you can reimburse for points. 25 Koku, which is actually quite a bit for the program. That'll get you like 5 or 6 rare cards. So let me put this beastie aside. I know it's in here already, but still, there's a Clan War card. This game actually, it was made by a card gaming company for the first part, so yeah, it's kind of course come with cards in it, but this card is just the registration card. You can no longer use this card. The Imperial Assembly is long since done. Colors, which is funny because the colors are actually more defined nowadays than they were then. You'll notice that they have a relatively similar looking Crab Clan figure and Crane Clan figure with different colors mentioned over here. Oh well, painters do stuff. It's double-sided, you get different clans. And they only really cover the 6 major clans in this box set too. They don't cover like the Scorpion or the Naga or the Shadowlands. Thank God. That aside. Get the reference card, which is cool. It's a reference. It's an old school reference card too. Notice how it's not, nice and light and easy. It's literally 10-point font the entire way down. Nice thing about old school games is the reference sheet often told you what you needed to play the game. Everything was just explained in the books, but you could play with this. I loved that about a lot of these older games. We got, the dice are on top. My box had the dice in the center when I opened my first box here. Comes with a Clans book, which actually should be the second thing I show you. This is the actual rule book. Yeah, this is the rule book. It's literally just a paper pamphlet worth of a rule book here. And so it's about 80, 90 pages maybe. Let's open it up and find out. It says in the back, 69, I was close. So it's 80 pages worth. Sorry, 79. It's about 80 pages worth. So there's this bucko. This has the clans in it. I could open it and show you what it's like, but essentially it's got basic dudes that are going to be outdated by the expansions that come out. It does have, it's weird, it does have some personalities that don't ever show up again in the expansions. So you got to kind of look and poke around to see who that is. And it's got unaligned guys. Like you won't ever find the stats for some of these bastards. Where are they? Like these dudes. Like Sanzo doesn't make an appearance ever again. Saruchi, I think, shows up in the Mantis Clan expansion. Toku shows up in the Toturi expansion. Not Sanzo. And there's some Shadowlands beasties, yuck. I actually am going to send a copy of this miniature to a friend of mine, Moshi Akiza. He likes cute girls. She's a cute girl that carries fans around and blasts shit. No, literally, her special abilities have a huge range attack. She's relatively cheap and weak, but, having a huge range attack, kicking around in a random Shigenja is really cool. So she's not available in any other expansion. There's a few characters like that. I think the Hooded Ronin right here is also not available in any other expansion. I don't think they made a miniature for him either, but he's the Hooded Ronin. He should be easy enough to fake out. Get some green stuff and put a cape on a monk-like samurai and call it good. Yeah, and everything else in here, I'd have to go through and really pick it, but most of the units in this book are available in the expansion boxes that came out. And I have to bitch about those expansion boxes. They came with the House Guard for each clan you played. The House Guard is typically one of the more expensive units. They're faithful, they've got high training, high morale, kind of a good unit to have. But the way the war game works, there's some other unit out there you actually want more. And with some factions, now one box set did it right. The Shadowlands box set comes with a bunch of normal skeletons. You need those normal skeletons to play Shadowlands unless you're playing goblins or something else. But the deal is that the normal skeletons would have been a cool idea to add into any other expansion box sets. Like the Unicorn got their House Guard. Well, they could have used some guys with bows, because at that time, the cavalry expansion for this game only had swords and spears. You could paint those guys to be swords and spears for other guys in Unicorn Clan. Why not give bows? Bows are actually one of the rarer blisters to come out. Okay, if you find Shinjo horse bowmen for sale and you like the Unicorn Clan, you may want to get your hands on those because I don't know how else where to find them. So give me just a second here. One of the dice slipped up top. I like D10s. They're my favorite dice. I like a bunch of weird things like hexes and D10s, and D20s are cool too, but D10s are smaller and more convenient. It's hard to roll a bunch of D20s for like heavy machine gun fire from several different units, but D10s fit the bill. So here's they came with 4 different colors. I think this is your watercolored one. I'm gonna have to compare them all to see. Let's just open there's 2 layers of foam, and the foam, it's actually pretty nice, hefty blue stuff. You get character cards, you get tactical cards. One of the things broke open, I can tell. I can tell because of this. These are tactical cards. They should have been in one of these, but they broke open. Now here's what I don't get. So this is the water dice. This is the fire dice, I think. Maybe it's the earth dice, because this looks like a fire dice. Or is this a fire dice? This is not an air dice, unless we're talking about, like, I don't know, like the air that coalesced around a fiber or something, or it's like a sunset. But it's not like, anyway, you know, so I like the dice. There's cool. They gave us 3 different colors of dice in here, but they kind of look like they're pulled out of a pound of dice. Some of these, like, I can't really tell what they're actually supposed to be. This is one that confuses me because it looks like I have 3 fire dice. Well, hell to the phoenix, I guess. I'm gonna put those there for now. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I opened this one because it's actually kind of a shitty box. Look, this would have failed quality control. It's spilling its guts. This is tactical cards. The game had a requirement that you build a deck of 30 tactical cards, and I think they gave you 60 in the box, so they do fair by you enough to give you enough to make 2 different decks, but you have to kind of pick, this guy gets to do this, the other guy gets to do that. They're not, man, yeah, give me a second while I organize these a bit. Yeah, the tactical cards is actually the most annoying thing and makes it very hard to translate because you need the cards. They did make a second edition of this game, and they changed the cards. They were updated, though. They had improvements to like how their timing worked or the abilities in the cards or their cost or some crap like that. But the deal is that the kind of idea that a card company would come up with, because, you know, they make cards. So, and of course, I will use these because I play Clan War when I can. It's very rare. I think every like 2 or 3 years I'll get a game of Clan War in. So yeah, you have 2 identical things, just all or nothing through, I think the last one in the deck is something W. Let's find out. All or nothing through Know the Terrain. Okay, so they're not actually all in order. And these are really banged up, actually. These cards have gotten smashed. Good thing I use card sleeves so they can blend in. So I'm going to be using these in the future. Thank you, Rare Box, for cards. Actually, this is not the rarest box out there, but I can call it that because it was in a wrapper. By the way, everybody, I could open these for you. These, shit, I'll open them for you. Give me a second. These are the character cards. It came with cards. Honestly, if you have these, you have the same things that are in the clan booklet I just showed you. And if you have the clan booklet, you have the same things that are in these. There's no difference. These are really extra. After all, it's a card company, you know. They're used to putting card in their product. So I'm going to crack this bugger open. This is almost sinful because I don't need any more of these guys. These are the most common Clan War miniatures on the market. I am not going to shit you. Although I like this guy. He's got a bent sword. I was thinking about soft metal. You can just bend it back into place. He's got a sword at the ready. This is my favorite miniature of all the common crap. My second favorite, let me see if I can grab him. Well, here's your average bowman. He's just a bowman dude. He's got flash on him. I don't care. He's got your average bowman dude. Did you see? He's a bowman. Yay. In response to that, yeah, here's the swordsman from earlier. I'm doing this upside down. I'm not used to doing this upside down. But anyway, yeah, he's my favorite of the common guys. And then, come on, do they have them all packed in like specific rows? Here's my favorite of the archer guys, because, you know, if you have an archer, what do you want the archer to be doing? I don't know, something associated with like shooting, maybe. So here's the shooting archer. And then of course your average, not Jodan no Kamae. I forgot which kendo pose this is, but this boy is your other average swordsman. He's also easier to convert because he's not holding the weapon right up against his face. This guy, if you notice the side, you try to convert him to be carrying another kind of weapon. his weapon is literally buried into his side there. So unless it has a handle and goes up, I guess you can pretend it's a Tetsubo. So this box is actually pretty cool for crab players because it's got heavy armored guys. And I'll tell you why that's important here in a second. Let me get this pile of useless metal out of the way. Yes, I said that. Here's a useful item that comes in the box. Bases. They are not Warhammer bases. They made a very specific base type for this game that's about the same size as the Warhammer Fantasy Chaos bases. The Chaos bases were kind of nice in that they were, they were larger and allowed more of your miniature to be protected by the base. That's half the reason you have a base is to protect the miniature once it's stored as well from the guys beneath it that are clattering into it. But anyway, these plastic bases have more bevel to them. They look more like a pyramid that's had most of the top cut off, whereas most of the Warhammer bases are kind of flat on the side with a little bit of bevel. But yeah, getting any bases is always a blessing for a Clan War player because the bases themselves are actually a rare item. If we get miniatures from Reaper or Magnificent Egos or Valiant Enterprises, you still need those. So this is much appreciated. I will use that. I do like the D10s. These are not the coolest D10 in the world, but they came in the box, so whatever. That's the funniest thing is that I could swear they are supposed to have two blue ones, like a lighter blue one for air and a deeper blue one for water. And then there has a fire-colored one and an earth-colored one. I'm assuming this garbage-colored thing here is supposed to be earth. And this bold-looking brother right here is supposed to be fire. So yeah. And there's this beautiful little thing here. Like I said, the officers of this, that's what I'm opening right now is the officers. They have, I know all their names. I know my L5R. So in the box set, you got a bunch of essentially junior guys. They were normal personalities in the card game. One of the most hated is this guy. This is Shinjo Yasumura, eventually becomes Hida Yasumura. But Shinjo Yasumura is the general for the Unicorn Clan. He's the only guy on a horse, which is funny because if you want to put any of these other guys on a horse, they may or may not have horse-style cavalry generals. I do think this guy got repainted as a cavalry general in several different circumstances, but they made a cavalry general for the crab, like Sune. Suru. Hida Suru got his cavalry version, and then they eventually made cavalry for everybody, especially Unicorn Clan, since Unicorn Clan is just stuck on cavalry. Appropriate, then he comes with a horse. My one friend, I think he goes by Plastic Crack or something on YouTube. This is his least favorite miniature in all the world. This is Matsu Gohei, the Lion Clan guy. He's actually in Legend of the Burning Sands. You'll almost always find him like this. If you find a miniature, let me find him like this without the thing I'm holding on because this trident tends to fall off. He's actually a pretty well sculpted, not cast. He doesn't have any bubbles in it. It looks like he's going to break. So I think this is actually a good version of him. Let's go on the guys I actually like. Yeah. This is Hida Sukune of the Crab Clan. He is a great dude. He's actually, in my opinion, he's one of the best in the game for the models you get in the starter box. He's a Crab Clan general, and he is good. This one, there's two versions of his sculpt. One I think comes with the sword attached to his helmet. The other one does not. But I could be wrong. This is Miyamoto Daini. He's also the other good one. He is a very good figure in the in-game stats. I mean, he's got dueling skills, he's got leadership skills. The only thing he doesn't have is the multiple strikes that comes out of being a Dragon Clan high officer. So he doesn't get that. He's a Miyamoto Daini of the Dragon Clan. I used to run him as my general back when I first played Clan War. Now I tend to just play lesser, cheaper guys because I prefer having guys in the field. My favorite model, just because I like samurai girls. I mean, girls that fight are just awesome. So here's a fighting girl here, Shiba Sukune. She will kill enemy Shigenja for you. And she is one of the most sought after figures in the box, in my opinion, because she's just cool. She's a good RPG figure. She's a good, you can paint her up as a Crane Clan character or as a character for other clans or an unaligned clan, and she works really well. She's a very versatile figure. Then, I actually like this guy. My friend Plastic Crack, I think is his name on YouTube again, he despises the Crane Clan. And this, of course, is the Crane Clan general, Daidoji Uji. sorry about the bent sword there. I actually have enough of these guys to make a unit out of him, so he's going to be fielded as a Dragon Clan unit here in the future. Don't ask me why, it's just kind of funny and stupid. I don't know. But anyway, so there is the box of Clan War, opened up with all the dirty little flash. It's a dead game. Now, they did make a second edition of it, which did improve quite a few things, but also removed stuff. Like, the Dragon had rocket teams. Those got removed. The Phoenix had elemental forces that got slightly... No, they got included, but they took out, like, the students of Shinsei, which got brought over to the monks. There's a few other things that happened, but all in all, it's a matter of... the second edition came out. It's actually a better box. Let me show you. I pulled these miniatures out from my collection. These are miniatures. Let me get them arranged in my hand so I can show you. They came out with lighter, softer miniatures, which sounds weird, but you see how these guys that I was pointing out all earlier had heavy armor? That heavy armor was actually kind of a disappointment, because you didn't always want to bring tons and tons and tons of your heavy armor guys, plus you'd be buying specialized guys. Here's this. These are the guys from second edition. Let's see if I can angle this so it actually shows up better. And they're lighter armored guys. They're the light infantry. People loved these guys because there's more guys you can paint these guys to be. They can be like your Miyamoto regulars or your Haruma scouts or some crap like that. And so they're really basic and easy to throw into the game. And people liked having these miniatures. I liked them better too because, you know, I got to the point where if I wanted heavy armored guys, I'd go buy some blisters of them. These were great for a starter set. Starter sets, you know, they should have what you need to start playing the game, like little basic guys. So, here's these guys. The dice were blue. They're like blue with white lettering on them in the Daimyo edition. They changed the color of everything too. The box was still rough and tough. I think that one was actually a clamshell. I could show you it in the future if I really wanted to, but it's just a box. But yeah, oh, and like everything else, this box is tough as nails. And the foam is not glued down or anything. You can take it out and put your own foam in. This is the Clan War box set unboxed, 21 years later. I don't know if anybody else will ever unbox one of these, but it doesn't matter. I may have actually been the second, who knows. But the deal is that the Clan War died really quickly, and so if you have a box of Clan War, it's because you have interest in the game. You like samurai stuff, you like your you like your Legend of the Five Rings, and you are insanely happy with metal miniatures. But yeah, that's the box set. Hopefully, if you find one, I'd actually recommend trying to find the books instead. Trust me. If you want to get into Clan War, find the books, and then try looking for samurai miniatures that'll fit what you want. But in any case, thanks for watching. You guys have a great rest of your day.